Zeus wasn't just the king of the gods. He was the ultimate force of power in Greek mythology. As the god of the sky and thunder, he controlled storms, rain, and lightning, striking down those who defied him. But Zeus wasn't just about punishment. He was also the protector of justice and hospitality. His rule was secured when he led his siblings in the great war against the Titans, locking many of them away in the abyss of Tartarus. Despite his immense power, Zeus was infamous for his love affairs, fathering gods and heroes alike. From Athena to Hercules, his offspring played major roles in countless myths. However, his wandering eye often led to chaos, as his wife, Hera, never took kindly to his unfaithfulness. Hera. As the goddess of marriage, family, and childbirth, Hera was a powerful yet vengeful deity. She was both the wife and sister of Zeus, a union that came with its fair share of struggles. Zeus's constant infidelity filled her with rage, but rather than punishing him, she directed her wrath toward his lovers and illegitimate children. One of her most infamous acts of vengeance was against Hercules, Zeus's son, with a mortal woman. She sent serpents to kill him as an infant, but the baby strangled them with his bare hands. Even as he grew into a hero, Hera continued to torment him, ultimately driving him into madness. Despite her vengeful nature, she remained a protector of women and the sanctity of marriage. Poseidon, god of the seas, was one of the three supreme rulers of the cosmos, alongside Zeus and Hades. With his mighty trident, he could stir the oceans, create earthquakes, and even shape new islands. He was a god both feared and worshipped by sailors, as his mood dictated the safety of their voyages. Despite his dominion over water, Poseidon's temper was as unpredictable as the sea itself. When he lost a contest against Athena for control of Athens, he cursed the land with saltwater springs. He was also responsible for creating the infamous Minotaur when he tricked King Minos's wife into falling in love with a bull. His role in mythology was one of both creator and destroyer. Hades, ruler of the underworld, was often misunderstood. Unlike his brothers, he did not reside on Mount Olympus, but instead ruled over the realm of the dead. Despite his fearsome reputation, he was not an evil god. His role was to maintain balance, ensuring that souls remained in the afterlife. His most famous myth involves Persephone, the daughter of Demeter. Hades kidnapped her and took her to the underworld, causing Demeter to plunge the world into a barren winter. In the end, a compromise was reached. Persephone would spend half the year with her mother and the other half in the underworld, explaining the changing of the seasons. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, warfare, and strategy, was one of Zeus's most remarkable children. She was born fully grown from his forehead, armed with a shield and spear. Unlike Ares, the god of war, Athena valued intellect over brute strength, preferring tactics and strategy in battle. She was also the patron goddess of Athens, winning the city's favor by gifting it the first olive tree, a source of food, oil, and wood. Her wisdom extended beyond warfare, as she was also the goddess of crafts and civilization, making her one of the most revered deities in Greek mythology. Apollo was the god of many things: music, prophecy, healing, archery, and the sun. He was a beacon of beauty and knowledge, with oracles across Greece dedicated to him, the most famous being the Oracle of Delphi. He could both cure diseases and unleash deadly plagues depending on his mood. One of his most tragic myths involved the nymph Daphne. Struck by an arrow from Eros, Apollo fell madly in love with her. However, she wanted nothing to do with him and prayed for escape. The gods transformed her into a laurel tree, which Apollo made sacred in her honor. Artemis, Apollo's twin sister, was the goddess of the hunt, wilderness, and the moon. She was fiercely independent and a protector of young women and animals. She was known for punishing those who disrespected her, including the hunter Actaeon, whom she turned into a stag and had devoured by his own hounds. Despite her fierce nature, Artemis was also a guardian. Women prayed to her for protection during childbirth, and she remained one of the few Olympians who kept her vow of eternal chastity. Ares represented the brutality of war. Unlike Athena, who valued strategy, Ares thrived in the chaos of battle, embodying bloodlust and violence. Even the other gods disliked him, as he was more destruction than discipline. Despite his fearsome nature, Ares was not invincible. He was humiliated on multiple occasions, including being trapped in a bronze jar for over a year. He also had a notorious love affair with Aphrodite, which Hephaestus exposed to the entire pantheon. Aphrodite born from the sea foam, Aphrodite was the goddess of love, beauty, and desire. She influenced both gods and mortals, controlling matters of the heart with ease. Though married to Hephaestus, she was infamous for her numerous affairs, particularly with Ares. Her influence extended beyond romance. She could cause conflicts and wars with the power of attraction. Hephaestus, the god of fire and craftsmanship, was the master of divine inventions. Despite being physically imperfect, he was the most skilled artisan among the gods. He forged the weapons of the Olympians, including Zeus's thunderbolt and Achilles' armor. He was married to Aphrodite, though their relationship was far from perfect. Hermes, the swift-footed messenger of the gods, was also the patron of travelers, merchants, and thieves. He was known for his cunning and mischievous nature, often pulling pranks on gods and mortals alike. He guided souls to the underworld and was one of the few gods who could move freely between realms. His winged sandals and golden staff made him one of the most recognizable deities. Demeter controlled agriculture and the fertility of the land. She played a vital role in the cycle of life and death through her daughter Persephone's abduction by Hades. Her grief caused the world's first winter, and her reunion with Persephone marked the return of spring. Her myth explained the changing seasons and the importance of agricultural cycles in Greek life. Dionysus, the god of wine, pleasure, and theater, was a unique Olympian. He blurred the line between civilization and madness, bringing joy and chaos wherever he went. His festivals, the Dionysia, were grand celebrations of wine, music, and dramatic performances. Despite his carefree nature, he was also a god of transformation and divine madness. Hestia, the goddess of the hearth and home, was one of the most important yet least mentioned deities. She represented stability, hospitality, and the sacred fire that burned in every household. Unlike the other Olympians, she stayed away from conflicts, dedicating herself to maintaining peace and harmony. Want to explore more epic myths and legendary tales? Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more fascinating stories from ancient mythology.